out there.
All right, riders are on the gate for A-Class Moto number 2.
And here we go, Vox. I'm excited for this one. This could be a big one. A couple of those guys didn't have that moto, I don't think, what they were looking for coming into this one. I think the biggest surprise for me, myself, is McChicken. I really thought that we would see him at the front of the pack there battling for a win, and I didn't see it. So, question mark in my mind, can he get it done here in this second moto? All the guys now loading into the gates. My question to the chat: who is going to take the win in Moto number 2 of the A-Class?
So the 15-second board is up. Just a reminder, guys, I'll be looking for jump starts. So wish us luck.
Here we go. Cart goes sideways. The gate drops and we're going racing. And down into turn number 1. Coming out with the leads, McChicken. And just as I say that I don't know what he's going to do, he fools me and he grabs a whole shot here in Moto number 2 of the A-Class. McChicken through the line as your leader. Ethan in behind him. And then it's Owen on that Alpine ride. And here we go, McChicken trying to show everybody out there that he definitely has something to prove here in Moto number 2. It might be preseason, but that doesn't matter to the big dogs because all they want to do is win. That's what it's all about right here at Backyard MX. If you're not a part of the community, make sure you hop in the Discord and join us.
Guys, I don't know how Reese does it as he goes down, unfortunately. But he did go down in the first turn, and before a quarter of the lap was done, he found himself back into the top 5. But he does blow that berm and is not able to get a good run uphill to the triple, so he is back about mid-pack here. So we're gonna have to see Reese hard charge again if he wants to move up front.
And here we are, we're with him right now. Reese Cooper up and over the old finish line, up on the very top portion of the racetrack here. He's definitely got his work cut out for him. As we see on the opening lap, these riders begin to make their way around this racetrack. Your leader coming through the single up over that table there here on the entrance side of the facility and dropping down and in. McChicken is really starting to turn it on. Look at this racetrack. It is rough. And that's where we're going to see the separation between the men and the boys here, as they would say. So McChicken trying to prove a point here that he is coming into this season prepared and ready to win races. McChicken, your leader, dropping back down and in from turn number 1. He's through the right-hand sweeper. Look at the line choice here. These guys staying right there in that rough line, but with the experience that they have, they're able to put this together. And for any of you out there watching, the level of difficulty is just crazy on this game as it begins to deteriorate for the racetrack, and you have got to be right on point to be able to run the pace that these guys are running here this evening. So McChicken here on your screen. He's your leader. Ethan, look at this, running in the number 2 spot. He has got a battle going on. Here is the Moto 1 winner, Hemi. He is now up into the number 3 spot and forcing the issue up over the triple. Hemi trying to make something happen. He could find himself on the ground, but he's able to hold on to it. Through the left-hander they go, and that's going to put Ethan back in the number 2 spot. Hemi trying to make something happen as he goes up and over the scrub off, headed into the quad. And all moto long there in the first one, Hemi was able to hit it, and look at this, Ethan able to get up and over it as well on that factory goon mounted machine. And just in behind them, this is one heck of a battle. I hate to leave it. Look at this, Ethan on the ground here. He comes together with SpongeBob, and SpongeBob causing issues for him as these guys are working their way back towards the entrance side of the property once again here, up over the single over the table there. And look at this, Hemi now has his eyes set forward on your leader. Just ahead of him, that's McChicken. And Hemi goes through the mechanics area here. Look at this racetrack, it is phenomenal. This is crazy, guys. We are seeing the best riders that you can come across currently. To our knowledge, these guys are top of the charts, right? If you are sitting at home and you feel like you got something for them, come on out and race with us. We want to know you. We want to hang out with you. We want to do motos with you. And more importantly, we want to see you out here banging bars with all of these guys. We want you to be a part of the community right here at Backyard MX. Look at this battle box going on right now between Munyon and Owen side by side, and Reese Cooper is on the charge. He is in behind both of these riders.
Yeah, LeMunyon with the Wicked Racing team, guys. He's a big member of this community, and he has pushed his way up very far in the pack. It looks like he's really just kind of latched on with Reese and tried to follow his footsteps here as we move up. But really, he almost had the opportunity to get around Reese there. So LeMunyon's really clicking off the gears and working hard to prove why he belongs in the front of the A-Class here at Backyard.
And let's take a look at Dad Shoes. He's holding on to a podium position here in Moto number 2. And he opts to go triple and then step onto the table. Just in behind him, we got a rider going down. That's Owen on the Alpine ride there, on the Alpine Honda, I'm going to go ahead and call it. And look at this. So that's going to change things up just a bit. That's going to advance Reese up a position as well, and LeMunyon as Owen in behind them now. Making his way past that SpongeBob there on the left side of the racetrack. Ethan back there with him. He's having some troubles after having a strong couple of laps there in the beginning of the race. Here come our leaders down the hill here into the right-hander and headed up towards that mechanics area. Let's stay right here on Reese Cooper as he is beginning to charge forward. Let's see if we can stick right in here with him, right on the rear wheel of him here. I'm going to let him run up top through that left-hander. And as he drops back down and in, watch this motorcycle as he comes through the acceleration bumps. Look at this, charging through wide open on that two-stroke. Reese Cooper putting together a terrific ride here, trying to make something happen. Mick Chicken really the rider of the hour as he is our leader. Look at this, Dad Shoes having an issue. That's going to allow Reese to get by him. Dad Shoes going at it with him here. And a lot of these guys, they got to really clean it up before we get to the regular season, as I'm noticing here in this preseason event box.
Yeah, some of these guys are going to have to figure out what it is that they need to do to step it up in the A-Class, because this is certainly where they belong. But we're also going to have our riders who are front runners in the class. Every series, whether it's digital or real life motocross, some people are just the best of the best. But on any given night, any of these riders can win. You really just have to keep it up on two wheels and limit the mistakes. Hemi actually made a mistake just before the finish line and allowed Dad Shoes to catch up and capitalize on some time. But then it was Dad Shoes who went down and let Reese catch up. So riders have got to keep it up. 7.5 minutes left in this second moto here.
And as I look at the leaderboard, just taking a look around, we got Empus. He's running in the number 12 spot. I'm going to showcase these guys as they come through this section here. And a couple of these riders, Yorks. I know a lot of the guys here in the chat, they were wanting the Yorks to get out front and put together a strong performance. He finds himself in the number 14 position right now and trying to do what he can to get back towards the front of the pack. Also, McManus, he is all the way down in the number 22 spot according to timing and scoring. Wheels right here on our screen finds himself on the ground. So Wheels has definitely got some work to do before we head into that regular race season.
Cal, I'm taking a look at the front runners here, and it does look like that Reese has been able to get around Dad Shoes because of that mistake that Dad Shoes had made prior. But Dad Shoes is not letting Reese go easily. These guys are friends by day, but they're certainly opponents on the gate. However, they are on the same bike currently. Both of them choosing to ride their Rocket League-backed KTMs here in the Backyard A-Class. So Dad Shoes is really still trying to push up and stick it to Reese. But in the back here, you've got Marco, who has pushed up to Owen, and they're having a battle for 6th.
And here we go. Let's go on board with Marco. He's on the inside here for that little scrub-off table. He comes together with Owen. Owen finds himself on the ground. And more bad luck for the Honda-mounted pilot as Marco says, hey, it's not for me, man. I don't want to be on the ground. I'm going forward, and I'm here to do big things. So The privateer on board is Kawasaki here. Marco trying to make moves as we have 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Let's take a look at LeMunion back here battling with Ethan, the factory goon rider. And Senor just in behind them. I have to get with Senor later, and I want to ask him about the racing action. I want to know what he thinks about the preseason. You know, Senor, that's my guy. So I'm going to get with him, and I'm going to ask him. So Senor trying to make something happen here with Munion, and look at this, folks. Ethan on the ground once again here. So after charging back forward, he runs into another problem, but that's okay because he gets up quickly. He only loses one position there, it looked like. And LeMunion now trying to push forward. I believe that's Owen that should be just up ahead of him there. And let's take a look. Yes, it is. And Owen off of the racetrack. This guy, I tell you what, is having a tough moto here, but you know, he's trying to hold on, he's trying to get through it and doing what he can. That's what it's all about for these A-class riders, is they know how to manage a race, whether it goes bad or if it's really good, kind of like McChicken right now. Looks like McChicken has extended his lead over Hemi. Hemi is 7.6 seconds behind now McChicken on the top portion of the racetrack, and he is working his way up and over that little scrub jump and headed towards the quadruple here. Excellent racing here in Moto number 2, and a terrific moto for McChicken himself.
Cal, the pack has collapsed on Ethan, who currently sits in 9th place, and he is trying hard to fend off Senor, as well as Garcia and Gerb on the TLD Red Bull. These guys were pretty much bar to bar as they came across the finish line.
And I'm right here on board with him. I got Ethan on the screen, and behind him, that's Garcia. And Garcia is going to go for the triple. Ethan is going to cost himself another position by not going big. Looks like Ethan has gone into that mode of, hey, I got to keep this thing on 2 wheels if I want to do good here tonight. These guys are on the gas. And look at this, they come together. Oh, no, that is a mishap. I believe that was Garcia that hit the ground, and now Ethan comes up short on the quad. These guys are having all sorts of problems. And back to our leaders we go here. The number 2 spot, this is Hemi. Now, I may be wrong here, Vox, but pretty sure I got this one figured out. If Hemi was to finish in the number 2 spot with McChicken taking the win here, that should still be enough for Hemi to take the overall here tonight for preseason in this A division.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think our 2nd place finisher in Moto number 1 is nowhere near the top spot. So, well, it could have been, was it Reese who took 2nd? I need to check the results. But yeah, I think if Hemi finishes in 2nd, he'll be just fine. Let me actually pull up those results so I can speak to them a little bit later.
Yep, so I believe that's how it went there. I know we had a couple of penalty issues there. In the first moto, we had Dad Shoes in there with Reese, so yeah, just have to take a look at that and see what's going to happen here for the overall. But I think, if I'm correct here, I believe that might be what's in the mind of Hemi right now. He is really riding consistent here. He is up on top of the racetrack on that top portion. Let's see if he's still carrying the quad. And yes, he is. So looks like Hemi's got this one all figured out, but look who is in the rear view mirror, folks. This guy just does not go away. Reese Cooper putting in one heck of a ride here on this 2-stroke. So we have got McChicken and Reese, both of these riders on the 2-stroke KTM here tonight. That was something that they wanted to put together and see what they could do. Huge news here on the racetrack. Hemi is now on the ground, but he is remounted. That's going to allow Reese Cooper to close in to the rear wheel here as we near the end of this moto. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. So under 2 minutes to go, and we are going to find out who the top A-class rider is as we head into our regular season. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he's the baddest of the baddest, but I tell you what, it never hurts that confidence level, and it shows the competition that you've been putting the work in. So that's why I say that. Leaving here tonight, you're only as good as your last performance. That's what they say. So if Hemi can hold on and he can take an overall victory, this is going to be huge for him and that LNR racing team over there. But Reese Cooper right now starting to force the issue as that clock ticks down. We are at 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, Vox.
Yeah, certainly, you know, these preseason races don't necessarily represent the end-all, be-all of the skill of these riders on the track, but with over 220 signups in the Backyard MX preseason, the A class being the top 30 riders within that group, and you've got Hemi, who won the first moto and is sitting in second, battling with Reese the Beast Cooper. It certainly shows that you are one bad mofo, and so Hemi's out here really giving it all he's got, proving why he is one of the top riders in the MX Bikes community.
And as we were talking about earlier on before the show here tonight, this racetrack in particular, it really fits the A and B class riders due to the fact that it does get so rough, and it's just like real life. I've raced here many times myself. I've been here as a mechanic, and this racetrack, it really does deteriorate. Lots of ruts, lots of rough areas throughout the racetrack. And if you're racing there, if you've ever raced there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this was a great track choice for the preseason event here so that we can see who can handle those rough conditions the best as we move forward.
Taking a look back through the pack here, we do have Gerb and Garcia battling it out in the 10th place spot, so nothing major happening between these guys, and I think Garcia goes down as I say that, which is unfortunate, but you know, guys, there's only 2 laps left. I am surprised to see Garcia so far back in the pack. He's known within our community as being the hard charger. This guy can get a bad start and still make a podium finish out of it. But just to kind of piggyback off of what Cal was saying, that kind of shows just how difficult of a track Muddy Creek is and why it's so important to have these races to really highlight the skill gaps in these riders and show, you know, who the best of the best is.
Yeah, and it helps us with assuring that these riders are in the correct class moving into that regular season. That's what all of this pre-qualifying is about. It shows us what exactly you've got to offer, and we can make the racing action that much better. And where it really helps is when we are doing shows like this for all of you fans out there. It helps us deliver that much better racing action. So unique program here. We have a class for everybody, and that's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do, and we want to grow this community. We've said it all night long. That's what it's all about.
So with 2 laps left, it looks like Reese is still right on top of Hemi. If Hemi makes a single mistake, Reese is not only going to capitalize, but he'll have the potential to gap him. So Hemi's feeling that pressure. He can hear that KTM just barking behind him. He knows Reese is giving him the business right now, and he's got about 1.5 laps left to keep his composure, or else he could potentially get pushed back to 3rd, or worse, lose a podium finish, because just off in the distance here is Dad Shoes. He's still not within attack position, but anything could happen.
But if I'm not mistaken, Reese finished behind Hemi, which will be 2nd for Moto 1, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so here's what's going on the racetrack, folks. If my calculations are correct and Reese can make a pass here, this could change the overall. Does that sound right there, Vox? Maybe he might come up 1 point shy.
Yeah, I'm not able to get to the results, but I do think you're correct.
Okay, so that could be why Reese Cooper is pressing the issue here. White flag is out. 1 lap to go, folks. Terrific racing action here tonight for the Backyard MX preseason event. And we are seeing the best in the business work their way around this Muddy Creek racetrack. Hemi says, to heck with it, man. I'm going big or I'm going home. He's up and over that triple heading up the hill. He knows that this could potentially be for the overall. We're going to have to figure that out, but Reese Cooper knows it as well. And look at this. Does he go for the quad? Yes. So Hemi holds it together. He hits the quad, but Reese is right there with him. And they're going to head into that left-hander. They're going to drop down and in towards the center portion of the track here. Reese loses a little bit of time. Meanwhile, I do want to look forward here as soon as I get a moment. This battle is so intense that I hate to step away from it, but our leader has done one heck of a job here in Moto number 2, and I definitely don't want to miss him going through that finish line section. So McChicken now coming up into turn number 1. He's going to drop back down and in through that right-handed sweeper. He loses control, but somehow holds on to it. And now, as he comes into the final turn, that checkered flag is about to fly for your Moto 2 winner. Everybody make some noise for McChicken. Let's go back here just in behind him. Let's take a look at Reese. Reese comes together with Hemi. So these two riders get together with one section left to go. And Reese all the way to the inside here trying to make something happen. He runs out of time. And Hemi is going to go 1-2 on the evening. I believe that should be enough for the overall as he holds off Reese Cooper. What a charge by Reese here in this second moto. Phenomenal race. Dad shoes right there with them across the line in the number 4 position.
Man, what just an impressive race between those guys. It literally came down to the final corner between Hemi and Reese. And, you know, taking a look at the rest of the pack here on the field, it really took until the last maybe 1/5 of the moto, just the last few laps or minutes for people to really spread out. Otherwise, it was just back and forth, bar-to-bar racing between these riders for the entire 15 minutes. So the A-class is stacked. The competition isn't going anywhere. But as we knew, guys, you know, McChicken had a bad start and was able to push himself to 4th in the first moto, and he shows just how important a good start is as he takes your race win.
And that is huge heading into that regular season. So McChicken knows that he has what it takes. Not only that, but Reese Cooper was really laying it all on the line there. That guy put in one heck of a performance. I am so excited going forward here to see what happens with McChicken and Reese, you know, and not only that, but the LNR rider, Hemi. I mean, this guy, you know, he comes out here, he gets the job done in the first moto, comes back out with a great start in the second one, avoids mayhem in turn number 1, puts himself in a good position, and he's able to deliver here tonight with a 1-2 performance. I'm very, very impressed by that, Vox.
Yeah, man, I am just utterly impressed with the racing here in the A-Class. I am more excited now than I ever have been for what is to come in Backyard MX. So thank you guys all once more for showing up. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to the riders for signing up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope F through A-Class had a blast this week and is hyped and looking forward to the regular season. Cal, once again, man, hats off to you. If I was in person, I'd bow, shake your hand, firm handshakes all around, man. You killed it, dude. If you guys are in the chat listening, man, give this guy a round of applause because he just elevated the game of MX Bike commentary for us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Vox, and thank you to all you guys here tonight in the chat. I hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, we are going to be here announcing these events throughout the season. So be sure to hit the follow button. Make sure you have the notifications turned on. Not only that, but throughout the week, you never know, we might broadcast some different stuff. And feel free to stop by and hop in chat and carry on a conversation with us. We want to talk to you. We want to get to know you. So come on in here and don't be a stranger. One more time, guys, I want to thank everybody.